Hi, welcome. My name is Brittany. Welcome to Spare Time at Home. This is a 30-minute beginner yoga practice. Grab your mat and let's get started. All right, welcome to beginner yoga. Today you will need a mat and as an option, a block and a strap, okay? All right, so we're gonna begin in seated pose. You're gonna cross the legs in a way that just feels best for your spine. You're going to rest your hands on your knees and thighs, or thighs. Lift up through the crown of your head. And just take a couple deep breaths. So we'll start our practice with conscious breathing. Right, so often we think of yoga as just a physical practice, but it's truly a deep practice of inner transformation. And a place that we can start, and we can always be practicing yoga, is through our conscious breathing. So we'll begin there. Just start to notice your natural flow of breath. Often when we're stressed or not super aware of the breath, we kind of breathe quite shallow. So in the practice today, we're going to encourage a deeper diaphragmatic breath. So you might even feel your abdominals begin to expand a bit more and contract as you inhale and exhale. Really fill your body up with breath. Exhaling all the way out. Breath is in and out through the nose. And take a few more. With the breath, just using this as an opportunity to connect with your physical body. You might even begin to scan your body from head to toe. And with loving kindness and compassionate awareness, just noticing what you're bringing to your practice today. Full breath here. Bringing the hands together at heart. If you'd like to set a personal intention for your practice today, it could be simply a one word or phrase, like just breathe, stretch, or be. Bringing the hands back to the knees, opening the eyes. All right, we're gonna start with some circles. So start to warm up the back. You can keep these small or larger circles, but just encouraging, right, this range of motion, just noticing the hips, the low back, just circulating, getting some life force, some energy, some prana into the spine. So we'll take about 3 more in this direction. Just keeping that conscious breath throughout the physical practice. The breath is what unites the body and the mind together. Right? We're going to pause and take it the other direction. So if you're new to the practice, right, and I know it can be a lot to manage, to think about, like, oh my gosh, breath and mind and body, and that comes together over time. And just doing your best to root into the foundation of your breath, and usually the posture will come, because then we have something to focus on, bringing the mind into the present moment. All right, coming back through center, you're gonna inhale, reach your arms up, lift your thumbs. And exhale, bring the right palm down and the left arm up and over. Now, if you're feeling really tight in your hips, you can have a block here and reaching up. You want to spin the chest best you can. You can set that along the side and just looking up, maybe down. Good for 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up, sweep up. Take the block with you if you like, or just simply bring the left palm down and the right arm up and over. Good. And then really encourage those sitting bones grounding down, and you want a little bit of a lift into your chest. Good. One more big breath here. Expand out through the fingertips. Good. Reach both arms up, breathe in. And hands to heart, breathe out. Good. Let's go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Take a breath in. And exhale, twist over to the right side. Good. So you want to bring your left hand on your right knee and your right fingertips behind you. In fact, you can bring the block there if you prefer. So I want to encourage the stacking of the crown of the head right over the tailbone. So notice if you're kind of leaning forward or leaning back. See if you can find that beautiful alignment and then encourage the twist from the center of the body. Good. You can either look forward or behind the shoulder, whatever feels best for your neck. The most important thing in the practice is to listen to your body and meet yourself where you are. Meet yourself where you're at. And with practice, growth is inevitable. It will happen. And then keeping this beautiful twist, you're going to reach the right arm up and over, cross body stretch. Good. Looking up to the ceiling, so a nice firm grasp on the outer right thigh. Good. One more breath, extend out through the fingertips. And then exhale, return to the twist. Take one more breath in. And breath out, unravel, hands onto the knees. Good, inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist over to the left side. Good, take the block with you if you prefer. And then lifting up through the very top of the head. Wrap the right rib cage around, left rib cage back. Good, looking forward or behind the shoulder. Good, breathing deeply into the belly. 2 more rounds of breath here. Keep that strong connection to the outer left knee and then reach up and over with the left arm. Really nice stretch for the low back and the outer rib cage for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the twist, breath in, and breath out, unravel. All right, bringing your hands back onto the knees or thighs. We're going to cow and cap the spine. Inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, round back. And as you lean back, you want to get a nice firm grip on the knees. You can really find that upper back begin to expand and open. Space between the shoulder blades, softening away from one another. Good. Let's take a few more together. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, dropping it back and down. Beautiful. One more. Big breath in. Biggest breath of the day. Send it all the way up into the chest. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Empty out all the stale air out of your lungs. All right. Excellent. Okay, let's transition on to table pose, hands and knees. If you have tender knees, you can double time the mat, or you can have a rolled up towel and just place it through the center of your yoga mat. Right, so we'll start hands and knees. You want to stack the hips over the knees and the shoulders right over the palms of your hands. Good, let's roll through a couple of cow and caps here. Heart and tail lifts. And exhale, rounding the spine. So that same action, just on all fours now. Let's take 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. And 1 more. The breath to your body and exhaling. Pull the belly in. Good. Come back to neutral and extend from here, right leg back. Good. And then spin the toes down. Notice if your hips are dipping to the left, can you guide them back through center? Lift up through the inner ankle and then draw the chest forward. You're more than welcome to stay here. Add on, reach the left arm forward. Good. Holding here for 3. Stay strong, lift the front of the belly in and out for 2. And 1, come on down. Good, right into the other side, left leg back. Press out through the heel, turn all 5 toes to the earth, and then lift through the inner ankles. You're gonna feel the whole strength of the leg. Pull the front of the abdominals in, reaching the right arm forward for 3. Looking forward for 2. Beautiful, and 1, come on down. Good, knees wide. So we're taking as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, child's pose, forehead down, arms reach forward, 3 breaths. Stimulating the back and sides of the neck long, so a slight tuck in the chin, even more or less the hairline to the mat. So really relax the neck best you can here. Coming up, table pose. We're gonna work into probably one of the most famous poses of yoga, downward facing dog, but we're gonna really break it down today. So we're gonna spread the fingers wide. We'll start right back into tabletop. So before we move into full downward facing dog, we'll start in a posture called puppy dog pose. So you're gonna bend the knees. You wanna keep the knees bent, start to hover them off the earth, knees stay bent, and you're just gonna draw your chest back. Right, so it's as if you're, best you can, bringing your ribs towards your upper thighs, bring your chin to your chest, send the tailbone back. And so the idea here is we wanna try to take the weight out of this posture, out of the arms, out of the wrists, and really load the legs. Pull up from the low abdominal wall for 3, 2, good, and 1. Slowly bring the knees down. This time we're gonna connect the inner knees, inner ankles, and come into seed pose. So really rest into the shoulders, roll the arm bones forward, and then hairline back to the mat. A couple breaths. Good, one more full breath here. Find a deep state of relaxation. Just kind of let everything go before we draw back into action. All right, so we're gonna work into puppy dog pose again with an opportunity and an option to move right into downward dog, and we'll break it down from the beginning. So tabletop pose, spread the fingers wide, so you wanna feel firm in the finger pads, tuck your toes, firm the low belly, a little hover of the knees, keep them bent, and then draw back. Good, and you're more than welcome to stay here, right? So we wanna work this full extension of the spine in downward dog best you can. From here, you might start to lift the hips, lift up through the heels. Good. You can stay here or soften the heels down. Good. You want to best you can. So if this starts to happen in the upper back, bend your knees and then take the rounding out of the upper back. Good. Send the roots of the tailbone, sitting bones back. And if your heels are to the floor, good. Same. That same action. Chest towards the thighs. Pull the front of the belly in. So you want to protect the low back best you can for 3, for 2. Awesome, and 1. This time we're gonna bend the knees. You're gonna walk to your hands. So it's little baby steps to your hands. You can even meet yourself halfway. Halfway lift, and then forward fold. So bend the knees, opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. You're gonna sway side to side. Good, feeling the 4 corners of both feet, strong legs, and just feeling that upper body cascade forward. Chin to chest, sides and back of your neck long. Crown heavy to the toes. Last breath. Good. And bring the hands to the floor. Pull up to the low belly. And you're just going to roll up. Strong legs, bent knees. 1 vertebra at a time to standing. Good. So we'll be in a posture called Samasthiti or mountain pose. Feet will come to the top of the mat. Feet under the hips. And shoulders stacked over the hips. Now from here, bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Right, just take 3 deep breaths. Feeling your body tall and strong here. Squeeze the knees so the fronts of thighs are engaged. Tailbone reaching towards the heels. Good, 1 more breath. Exhale it out. All right, so let's move through a standing series next. So with a standing series, you might need a block. Okay, so you can have that nearby at the highest setting. So we're gonna start into a posture called Warrior 2. You're gonna step the right foot back. So with this right foot step back, you want to step back as far as your hips will allow you to today. You can start with straight legs. You want to turn this back foot about 45 degrees. So you want to find an internal rotation of the thigh. Front toes are pointing forward. Start with your hands at your hips. Chest and pelvis are in the open position. From here, bend your front knee. Good. Keep pressing down through the back foot. So both legs are working equally. And then you can work to stay here or start to open the arms and send your focus over your left fingertips. Good. Soften in a bit through the shoulders. If you want to add a little bit more fire into the pose, you want to activate both feet towards one another, like almost like you're trying to crinkle your mat from the center. So you're going to feel a lot of engagement through the inner thighs. Good. For 3. Belly pulls in strong. For 2. Good. And 1. You're going to straighten the front leg. We're just going to simply turn the other direction. So you're going to spin the toes. These toes face here. Right? So set it up the same. Start with your legs straight. Open the chest and the pelvis in the same direction. Open the arms. And then bend. Good. And so notice if you're kind of dipping the booty back a little bit, can you externally rotate the thighs? Yeah, so a lot of leg work. Squeeze them in towards one another. And we're here for 3. Good. 2. Awesome. And 1. There you go. Come on through center. All right. So we'll set up same, but a little bit different. We're going to bring the back foot in a couple of inches. So we're going to set up our triangle pose. So having a block right in front of your toes, right in front of your foot there. Good. Both legs are straight. Again, you have the same internal rotation. You're going to open the arms, look forward. Now we're going to send this right hip back and then quarter turn it a little bit forward. So now you have a nice open back. Left palm to the block and right arm to the sky. Good. You can even bring your hand, if you don't have a block, no worries. You can just rest it right onto the shin, the upper shin, lower shin, whatever's available to you, wherever you are. Got 2 more breaths. Looking up to the thumb. Concentrating on your own breathing. Good, all right. So press through the feet, come all the way up. You're gonna take your block along with you. And then simply switch sides. Okay, so you're gonna set it up, same. Bring the block into the front of the right foot. You're gonna open the arms. Move forward, press into the legs, and then a little tilt, tailbone back, palm to the block or the upper shin, and then reaching towards the sky. Good, so feel the fronts of the legs squeezing strong. I like to squeeze my fingers together. Some folks come here and there's no right or wrong, but just kind of brings a little more connection, a little more activation. Yoga literally means to connect. That's what it means. It means to unite, to connect. And that all begins inside of us. Good, 1 more breath here. All right, come all the way up. You're gonna take the block and we're gonna parallel the feet. So we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're gonna set it down right in front of you, right through center line. Inhale, reach your arms up. Good, exhale, forward fold. Now a couple different options here. If fingertips are having a hard time coming to the floor, you can come up onto the block here. The block, in fact, has 3 settings, right? It has low, medium, and high. So you can kind of play with that at your will. You can even take your feet a little bit wider. Or if you want a little more challenge, your feet would come a bit closer together. All right, so take a breath in. First, extend the crown away from the tail. And then exhale, come on down. What's kind of nice here is that you can bring your forehead onto the block. Good, and your hands just right under your shoulders. Okay, or right, you can do that at a lower setting if you prefer. Okay, so just relaxing shoulders as best you can. You want to press through the outer edges of the feet and lift through the inner arches. So feel these guys lift off the floor. So we're strengthening the whole body really in yoga. It's a full body connection. Good, last 2 breaths. You can even set that along the side if you prefer. Maybe come all the way down. Chin to chest. Relax the jaw. Final full breath. Exhale it out. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Press through the outer edges of the feet, hands to hips, squeeze the elbows, and come all the way up. All right, turn and face the top of your mat. All right, 1 more standing pose before we come into the floor. We'll come into tree pose Vrikshasana, so I'll face you and make it a little bit easier. All right, so we'll start with the right foot grounded, hands to the heart. So a couple different options. You can work your way into the balance. So left toes can come down. You can bring your heel to your inner ankle and you want to open the knee. Okay, so you could stay here, lifting the chest up. If you want a little bit more, you would bring the foot right at the calf. And if you want a little bit more, you can reach down and plug it all the way up into the inner thigh. Good, hands can stay at the heart. And what really helps is 1 point of focus. So just focusing on like a notch in the wood or just something super uninteresting in front of you. And just keeping your focus there, your drishti, your gaze there. And then if you want, you can add on, reaching the arms up, maybe look up. And 2 more breaths, ground down into all 4 corners of your right foot. If it's too much to look up, keep looking down. hands to heart. Knee forward, foot down. Okay, other side. Right toes, spin the knee. Stay here, breathe. If you want to add on, bring the foot up. A little more, guide it up. Press the foot actively into the leg and the leg into the foot. And you can stay with your hands at the heart. Or also, I really like to open them wide. This can help quite a bit with balance. Guys, you're squeezing your shoulders back and softening the tips of the shoulder blades down towards the hips. You're activating the whole center of your body for 3. Looking forward, concentrating the mind for 2. Good, and 1. Same way out, reverse it out with control, with intention. And there we are, Samasti Tihi. All right, coming to the top of the mat. If you're not there already, inhale, arms up. Bend your knees, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale, come right back to tabletop pose. Good, from tabletop pose, we'll take 1 round of cow, 1 round of cat. Cross the ankles, cross the shins, and you can walk all the way back. If there's another way you'd like to transition into a seat, you're more than welcome. All right, so from here, you might choose to grab your strap. We're gonna do a couple forward folds. In fact, I'm just gonna face you guys. All right, so we're gonna start with the posture called Paschimottanasana. That just means double-legged forward fold. So I'm gonna have you take your strap, and you're gonna bring it right at the base of the toe, so right at kind of the big toe, pinky toe ball mounds. Okay, you're gonna come all the way back here. So you want to get a lot of slack so you're able to really squeeze in here. You want to pull the toes back, knees can be a little bit bent. You're going to lift your chest up. Good, and then exhale. From here, you're just going to walk your hands down the strap. Right, best you can, try to keep the chest reaching forward. So try to avoid running away from it. If you're running away from it, just back out, lift up, lean forward. Okay, so if you're tight, that's all good. This what yoga's for. If you're tight, right? And the strap just creates a longer limb. So if your hammies are tight, your spine is tight, right? Over time with practice, right? You can just get closer and closer to the feet. Go ahead, let's take 2 more breaths. Pulling the toes in, even that little pinky toe. And you might even let the head fall heavy. Last full breath cycle. Awesome. And slide out, rolling up. Also the strap along the side. Coming into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, bringing the soles of your feet together. And so rather than pulling the feet into the hips, what I found is kind of nice, that a little bit safer and kind of nicer on the pelvis, is actually bring the pelvis towards the heels. Okay, so instead of pulling this way, see if you can move forward this way, and you might get a little more room to snuggle in there, and then lifting the chest up, grab your feet. And to be honest, this might be plenty of a stretch for your inner thighs. So you're more than welcome to stay upright and just work. We're not pushing the knees down, we're allowing gravity to do that work for us, and the breath. If you want a little bit more sensation from there, you're gonna lean forward with your chest. Good, breathe deeply into the low back. And again, roll maybe the shoulders a couple times. Just encourage them down away from the ears. Full breath, extend the heart forward, tailbone back. Exhale, soften, chin down. All right, you can use your own hands, pull yourself up, guide the knees together. Good, and then if you're not there already, turn to face the front of your mat. And lower all the way down onto the spine. So we're going to work a little bit into the outer hips into figure 4 stretch. So you're going to guide the heels in, cross the right ankle over the upper left thigh. Now moving from the hip rather than the knee, but you're going to guide the knee forward, right? So you're working an external rotation of your hip, and you're more than welcome to stay here. There's plenty of a stretch for your outer right hip. If you'd like to add on, you're going to draw the left knee into the chest, weave your hands through that little keyhole. You can even kind of snuggle in, lift your chest, interlace, and then settle the tips of the shoulder blades back down to the floor. Good. So as that left knee is guiding into the chest, so you're using this a bit as a lever. Left knee's guiding in, and right knee's drawing forward to the front corner of your yoga mat. Good. 2 more breaths, softening through the neck and shoulders. Foot down first, unravel, grounding both feet to the earth. All right, other side, so left ankle crosses over. Guide the left knee towards the front left corner. Option to stay. If you'd like to add on, guide the right knee into the chest. Lift up, and then weave your hands underneath the back of your right thigh, and settling the backs of the shoulder blades to the earth. Good, and as you draw the right knee into the chest, begin to articulate the left knee towards the front corner of the mat. 2 breath cycles here. Right foot down, left foot down. Good. Both knees to chest. Grab right at the upper shins and just rock side to side a couple times. A little massage into the low back. And we'll end our practice with a simple twist. Okay, so arms open wide, knees to center. You're going to bring both knees over to the right side. So I like to hike the knees up best you can. You want to send that left thigh crease down. Look over the left thumb. If that's too much on the neck, you can choose to look upwards towards the ceiling. Good. Shifting up, if it's not there already, knees guide through to center line. Big breath in. All right, twist over to the left side. You want to really hike the knees up. Reach the arm, good, look over. And sometimes I like to kind of encourage that hip down, so you're not only stretching the spine, but that whole side waistline there. Good, and if it's too much on the neck, you can absolutely look up towards the ceiling. Good, 2 more breaths. Good, take a full breath in, a little core engagement as you transition back to center. Hug the knees into the chest, and you're just going to create some circles. So we'll go 3 times to the left. And coming through center, another direction, 3 times, circle to the right. All right, feet to the floor, and ending with final resting pose, Shavasana. Legs out, arms to the side, palms facing up. Let's take a cleansing breath in through the nose. Audible exhale out. One more like that. Full breath in. Cleansing release out. And dropping deep into final resting pose, Shavasana. A couple moments here. More than welcome to stay here as long as you need or want to. When you're ready to come out, begin to bend the knees, plant the feet to the earth. Bring your awareness back into your breath, back into your physical body. Shift the hips slightly to the left and roll off to the right side. Pause here for the breath in. Bring your awareness back into the room for the breath out. And In your own time and in your own way, guide your body up into a comfortable seat. And we'll end practice the same way we began, easy seated. Hands together at heart center, returning to your personal intention for your practice. Big breath in. Full and complete breath out. Thank you so much for joining in for beginner yoga today. It was a great honor to practice with you. The light in me sees and honors the same light inside of you. Namaste.